Welcome to our conference this afternoon. My name is Jennifer Phillips, and I'm the co-interim director of the Bard Center for Environmental Policy, along with my colleague Maura Ranville. And we're very happy to have all of you here today. This is the beginning of a 3-day conference that will be an opportunity for us to introduce our new director. The title of the conference, Interdisciplinary Environmental Education in the 21st Century, Training for Leadership. It's an opportunity that was provided to us by the Luce Foundation as part of an ongoing program of international exchange on education. And we've been waiting for quite a while to have this conference, so we're really excited and happy to have you here today. I'm essentially going to I'll try to be emceeing here and there throughout the conference to keep us on track. But my job right now is to introduce our new incoming director for the Center for Environmental Policy, Dr. Eben Goodstein. So let's welcome him.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. And it's a real pleasure to be here. And I first want to really thank the Luce Foundation for the work that they've provided supporting interdisciplinary and international education here at Bard. I will be the incoming director starting in mid-August, and it's just been a real pleasure to have this opportunity to work with the Bard faculty and staff to really begin to envision the future of environmental education here at Bard, but also more generally around the country. I think that's what we're here to talk about today. I'd like to thank a few people before I get started. Special thanks to the graduate director, Norton Batkin, for providing guidance to our efforts, especially to Jennifer Phillips, who has really been the driving force behind this conference, and also to Josephine French for her wonderful and hard work over the last few weeks. And again, an acknowledgement and a thank you to the Bard faculty and staff more broadly for being so welcoming to me and helping me get my feet on the ground even from a distance out in Portland, Oregon. And finally, I'd like to actually offer a special welcome to our international Luce partners who've traveled from Asia and South Africa to be here with us today. And we're looking forward to their input in the conference tomorrow. Conference is motivated by our shared understanding of really the weight and the gravity of the moment. And it's very hard. It's a beautiful day outside, and it's very hard to remember. And often, I spend time searching for the words to think about the times that we're living in. And really, there really is no other word than to say that we're living in a truly extraordinary moment. How many of you in the audience are under 30? All right. The coming 3 decades will test your grace and your intelligence and your wisdom in ways that no generation before you has ever been tested. You will decide if your children and your grandchildren will inhabit a changed and challenging but still recognizable home, or whether the earth will become a place that has been deeply impoverished. Should you guide us safely through these 3 decades, then you will become truly, for all history to follow, the greatest generation. Last month at Lewis and Clark, it was Alumni Weekend, and I had several visitors to my environmental and natural resource economics class, and they were from the class of 1950, so it was their 60th reunion. These were people in their early 80s, members of that first generation, my parents' generation, and it was really an incredible experience. We happened to be discussing sustainability that day, and it made things very, very real because suddenly these elders in my class were my students in the year 2070 coming back for their 60th reunion. And the question of, is the world a better place now than it was in 2050 became, will the world be a better place in the year 2070 than it is now in 2010? And I think we have much greater reason to be concerned about that, to worry about that. And we had a great discussion. And a week later, a couple days later, I received this letter, which I'd like to read to you. Dear Professor Goodstein and students, thank you for welcoming us seniors to your classroom yesterday. I apologize for letting the opportunity go by for sharing my sense of happiness from the vantage point of my 79 years. I'd give anything now, 24 hours later, to bequeath to all of you the clean, quiet, uncrowded, simpler world of my childhood. Memories sustain one, like acres of open meadow close to home with big trees to climb, a creek to swing across or cool off in. Then there were the smells and easy sounds of grass mowed, leaves raked, gardens spaded, trees pruned, all by hand. My father at work was background music to my sense of well-being. A gift I'd love to give you, if I could, would be a CD from the 1940s of the incredible chorus of birds returning to the Mount Tabor area in that spring of 1940. And then the chemical industry came home from war, and more uses were found for fossil fuel, and that has continued to this day, providing happiness. Thank you again. The hour went by too fast. The point of that letter, of course, is to think about how quickly 50 years is going to pass, especially given the scale of the work that today's young people have to accomplish. The second point is what letter will they, you, young people, and my generation as well, what letter will we be writing to our grandchildren? And that's the question that's brought us here today. As educators, how do we train members of this soon-to-be greatest generation to first embrace this profound responsibility that history demands? And second, how do we empower them to carry that out successfully? And I want to set the stage for this discussion by suggesting that 20 years ago, when I first started teaching, I was fresh out of graduate school, we were not in or of an age that demanded leadership. Leadership was not what we expected of young people. Instead, the educational system, I believe, was geared more to the production of competent managers, that we were in an age of management at that time. Now, what I want to do is characterize environmental thinking circa 1990, and I think of this as muddling past Malthus. And broadly speaking, the debate was between neo-Malthusians who were concerned, rightly so, about the possibility of there being, at that time, another 4 to 5 billion people on the planet, or even 6, in a world of finite resources, oil, water, fresh water, oceans, topsoil. And the question was, can we accommodate these people? And the debate was between that neo-Malthusian perspective against a technological optimist view, the cornucopians, if you would. And I think at a reasonable conclusion at that time was that yes, more or less, we could do this. That we could envision a business as usual scenario that was appropriately tempered around the edges, that in particular we could see an end to the population explosion, global population stabilizing, at that time maybe 11 or 12 billion now, maybe 9 to 10 billion. And so that under a business as usual scenario, we could, in theory, with proper management, accommodate that kind of growth.